What's going on, guys? It is Wyatt, and it is a beautiful Wednesday morning here in Colorado. In today's video, we're going to start pulling apart the Integra and parting it out, pulling all the good usable stuff out of it and starting on the new project. I did decide to scrap the shell. Like I said, it's not really worth putting more money into, and I'm just kind of tired of it. So I ended up picking up an EK shell. It's actually an EK coupe. I got it for a good price, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna show you guys it today, but it is gonna be really cool. It's really good shape. It just needs some paint, so we're gonna paint the car as well in the upcoming videos and a bunch of stuff like that. And like I said, I'll do a full build series on it, and once we get caught up on some other trucks around the shop that I need to finish, we will start working on that. But as far as today, we're just gonna get the motor pulled out. And before we get into that, I'm going to give you guys a little update on my C10 project. A couple of you guys were asking about it, so I'm going to show you what I've gotten done on it recently, and then we'll jump into getting on the car. So since the last video, what I have gotten done is the motor mounts completely done. As you can see, they're down in there. I had to build the new plates that go up to the frame rail and hold the actual mounts for the motor. I also got this piece put in, which will allow enough clearance underneath the crank so that you can get a belt in here. And yeah, that turned out really nice. Other than that, I haven't done a ton to it. It's just been sitting because, like I said, running a business, you have very limited free time. So any free time that I have, I got to split between the Integra and this truck. Another little update for the Integra is I picked up this GSR transmission. At least I believe it's a GSR. That's what the guy told me it was. I hadn't paid for it yet. He said that I could go through it real quick and make sure that it's a GSR before I purchase it. And I also picked up a good crank, a good LS crank, just in case I need it. And that also has a lightened flywheel on it, so I'll be putting that on the new motor that we build for the new EK. So with those couple updates out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into pulling the Integra apart. As you can see, the hood is already off, and so is a lot of the front end. I already have the bumper pulled, the headlights, the core support, or the bumper support, and I've already pulled out, intercooler pipe, the axles, fuel filter, stuff like that. And honestly, I'm about ready to pull the motor out. I know I didn't film a bunch of it, but like I said, limited time. So when I have time to work on this, it's usually late at night after I finish another project for, a customer's car or whatever. So yeah, this is where we're at now. Just getting ready to pull the motor. I already have all the wiring undone, all the coolant lines undone. And all I have now to do is figure out how to strap this thing up and pull it out. And over here, I have my turbo that was on the car. I have already pulled off the compressor housing. As you guys know, this is a cheap $150 eBay turbo. It is a GT35 with a journal bearing. And this thing's already dicked. It has very low miles on it, but it's already hella out of whack. As you guys can see right here on the turbine, you guys can see where it rubbed the front cover really badly on pretty much every single fin, how it's all rolled and mushroomed over. And also, if you watch closely, how much shaft play this thing has. So, in and out shaft play on a turbo is no bueno. Up and down or side to side, whatever you want to call it, is fine, to an extent. There's always going to be a little bit, and that clearance is taken up when, pressurized oil is put inside this. But any in and out movement is no bueno whatsoever. So this turbo is already dicked, which is no big deal because on the new setup, I'm ditching this entire thing. I'm going to have Hayden, or Meticulous Fabrication, I believe. You guys know him as Hayden, Suicide CRX on YouTube. Give him a big shout out. He's going to be welding me up a new top mount manifold for the car. And also we're going to be going with a GTX 35R, which is a 6268 turbo. And that's what Kyle from Boosted Boys is running on his hatch. It's lasted forever. It's a dual ball bearing turbo, and they just make really good power. So that's what we'll be doing for the new setup, but I just figured I would show you guys this one real quick while I have it all apart. Well, we have the motor out. Unfortunately, that's all the further I'm going to get on it today. Like I said, business comes first. I have to pull in a truck and pull the motor out of it today, and also go pick up another truck that I'm going to be putting a built transmission in. And I think it'd be kind of cool to do like just a quick time lapse on that for you guys. It's Duramax, an 01, I believe. So it's getting a built transmission, and I think that'd be kind of cool, like I said, to just do a quick time lapse on. Like I said, had to take a break on my car to work on customers' vehicles, and sorry I look butch right now. It's been a long day already and still got a lot more to do, but took a break on mine to get caught up on customers' trucks. So a couple of you guys asked what I do for a living, and you know, some of you guys have an idea, but I turn wrenches, work on diesels, particularly Duramaxes, but I also do a lot of Cummins stuff and some Power Stroke things. But yeah, so today we are putting together a built Allison 1000. This came out of an 01 to 04 Duramax, which is the LB7, and it's the same transmission they use all the way up to the current version of the Duramaxes, just with different variants of it. You know, these ones are the 5 speeds, newer trucks are 6 speeds, and there's just a little bit of updates on them, you know, as the years go, but they're all pretty much the same. And so yeah, I figured I'd show you guys a little bit while I put this one together, and once this is done, I have another truck to do, and then we'll get back on the Integra. So yeah, let's take a quick look at what we're doing here, and we'll go from there. So like I said, got this transmission pulled apart. This is the main body, the bell housing, front pump. This is the front drum. And as you can see, I have it all torn apart. So if you guys have never been inside of an automatic transmission, they are pretty gnarly and there's a ton of stuff in them. So disassembly went from that side all the way over, followed around all the way here. And I'm not going to go into details about everything because we could spend days talking about transmissions. But as you can see, when people say that their clutches are toasted, I'll show you these guys right here. I'll give you kind of an explanation of why they are toasted. So this one's not too bad. Let's see, there was some bad ones here. There we go. That clutch right there, as you guys can see, it's really black. Try and get it to focus. That one's really black, and that is what a burnt clutch looks like. So what this clutch is actually doing is, well, it's slipping. So when you hear an automatic slip, it's because this clutch can't hold the amount of torque and power that's going through the transmission. So therefore, this clutch does not hold on to this, or this friction does not hold on to this steel, and this steel is what actually rotates other parts and puts the power out. You know, and these two are supposed to be clamped together for a certain gear. That's how automatics work in a very brief, very non-scientific explanation. But when this gear is engaged, these two should be clamped together tight and not allow any spinning whatsoever between them. But when it slips, this friction is sliding around or sliding on this steel plate, and it should not be doing that. So in turn, creates a ton of heat and burns the clutch. So we're doing a full Suncoast Stage 5 kit in this with a Branting triple disc torque converter, which is badass. Really good build, probably, you know, 600 or 700 horse or so good. I consider this a Stage 3 build. And, you know, when you go Stage 4 and 5, you get a bunch of upgraded stuff like, you know, billet input, and you get billet drums, and, you know, all kinds of stuff. Just a lot of upgraded, more upgraded things from there. But this is a good all-around kit, and these trucks are pretty hard to get 700 horse out of, you know, on a stock motor anyways. So this build really is the perfect thing if somebody's hopping up their truck and not really going for a ton of power, but definitely, you know, bigger injector, bigger turbo, but still a stock motor. This is a great solution. It's the same kit that I run in my personal truck, and my truck makes about 700 wheel horsepower. It's been in there for about a year, and it's doing really well. So yeah, I'll show you guys what a new clutch looks like real quick, and you guys will be able to see the difference between the two. So as I was saying, this is one of the old clutches that is burnt. You can see how black it is. And that's just, like I said, because all the heat that it was creating from slipping. And this is what one of the new clutches look like. So this is from, like I said, Suncoast Diesel Transmissions. A bunch of badass guys. They do some really amazing builds. And yeah, really like their product. So it's what I always recommend when people are interested in getting their transmission built. So this is a brand new clutch, and they're just an upgraded friction material, and along with, you know, a new backing plate for the clutches, as well as all brand new steels, so that you don't have to reuse anything in your transmission build, which is awesome. And yeah, the kit also comes with every seal, gasket, O-ring, freaking apply piston, everything in this transmission. So it's a really complete, awesome kit. But with that kit being so badass, it comes with a price tag. So anyways, that is a little bit of update on that. I'm going to get into doing the modifications to these parts here that come with the shift kit in this kit. And yeah, so we're going to get this going and try and finish up this transmission tonight, as the customer needs it back tomorrow in the evening. So got a long night ahead of us, that's what I said, and we're going to get into it. So like I said, we're getting this training put together. So right now we are putting all of the C1 clutch pack in, and this is all Suncoast parts. They give you a new top plate, which is this one here, new bottom apply plate, and then all the new clutches. These are single-sided frictions, so one side is a friction plate, and on the back side it's a steel plate, if I can get these to separate. But yeah, that's just how they do them, so it's hard to tell, but on the back side of that one, that lip there, that's a single-sided friction plate. So we're going to get these installed, and then the C2 pistons go on the outside of this in another piece here, and we're going to be done with the front drum, and then we will move on to I'm going to do the pump upgrades next, and then all the valve body stuff, and then I will do the C3, 4, and 5 clutches that are in the actual body of the transmission there. So let's get this drum finished up, then we'll move on to the other things. Alright, so the C1, C2 drum is now complete. So like I said, I'm going to move on to the front pump and the valve body upgrades, and then we'll do the C3, C4s, and yeah, we'll go from there. I know this isn't, like, you know, probably interesting for you guys, but it's really intriguing for me. I don't know why, I just love messing with these things, you know, especially the valve bodies. Just, there's so much going on in that, and it's just mind-blowing. I don't know, I just love playing with them, and you know, it really taxes your brain, you know, as far as like comprehending what everything is doing. And so yeah, it's just really cool to me, so that's why I figured I'd throw it in this video. And you know, like I said, a couple of you guys had asked what I do for a living, and you know, this right here is what it is. We got the valve body apart now, and as you guys can see, these things are crazy, how all the different engineering that had to go into these things to make them work. And if you guys don't know automatics, this is the brain of the transmission pretty much. While they do have a computer that controls them, this is the mechanical brain that actually puts everything into motion and puts fluid where it needs to be to pressurize, you know, different apply pistons and whatnot. And like I said, these things are just really cool. I like messing with them just because, you know, they really tax your mind and make you think about stuff. But anyways, got it all apart. Got your pressure switch over here, reverse tube, all your bolts to hold it on, trim solenoids, and then yeah, just all the valving that controls all the different, you know, channels, if you would, in the valve body. So we're gonna get the couple mods done in here. It's pretty much just some new little pieces for the trim solenoids, but I like to pull them fully apart and clean them out thoroughly. So we're gonna get that done and then get the valve body back together and start on the front pump. Well, the truck is good to go. It drives nice, it shifts really smooth, so that's a plus. Ended up having to go and borrow a tool from another shop, Diesel Daydreams here in Colorado. Wade, really cool guy, ended up lending me this tool. This is a sizing tool for shift valve E, and that's why I had the valve body out of the truck again, because it has a valve that goes through that thing, or in the valve body, and it gets stuck. It's a common issue on these. So this goes through and kind of cleans them up, deburrs them, and yeah, so a really cool guy. Met me on a weekend so that I could borrow it. So yeah, really appreciative of that. Oh, poor old girl sitting out here being stripped for all her good parts. It's kind of sad, but it's what has to happen. You guys can see up under here, she's empty. So we're gonna get everything stripped out, and I'll actually pull the car out and give you guys a little bit more of a good look at it, but right over here, oh, what is that? What is that? Oh shit, boy. So we ended up getting an EK coupe. Yes, I know it needs new taillights very badly. So we're going to be putting new taillights on it very first thing. It also needs a window regulator, as you can see, and a paint job. So I got this car for a really good price, and that's why I ended up doing it, because this way I can paint it whatever color I want, and it's a good winter, a full winter project. So that's another reason we are headed over to PFI right now, is we're going to go grab the front end off of one of these scrap cars they have laying around, so that we can do the 2000 front end upgrade on this, because right now it has the 96 front end on it, which I don't really like as much. So we're gonna go grab that one. The only shitty thing with it is it's on the 2000, the front fender here is kind of dicked up, but it's whatever. I can fix that or just get a new fender. They're pretty cheap, but this front end doesn't really align that well, and I think that, like I said, the 2000 front ends just look better anyways. So that's what we're gonna go over there for, and also to go drop off the motor out of Brent's truck, which is that Dodge right there, so that he can get that thing rebuilt and we'll have his truck back on the road. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked for this thing. It should be a lot of fun to build this winter, and like I said, I'll pull it out here in a little bit after we go grab the parts, and I'll show you guys a little bit more in depth of it. As it doesn't look very clean right now, it's actually a very clean car. So yeah, let's head on over to PFI and see what we can do. Well, we got the front end all loaded up. We got the bumper, the hood. I also grabbed the trunk lid and some other little things off the car, like the fenders and the rear quarter little trim pieces, and little trim pieces for the doors. So anyways, yeah, that's all I needed from the car, and we're gonna go over to the shop and maybe put that on today, but I doubt it. I won't have time, but it'd be cool to see it on the car and see what it looks like. And yeah, so I'm gonna grab some food to feed this dad bod, and to be honest, this will probably be the end of this particular video, just because I already have a lot of footage, and working on the car will be the next one. But like I said, for this one, that's probably all I'm gonna put in it, just because it's already gonna be long. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Give it a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace. And just a little thank you for everybody who watches all the way through the videos. This is a sneak peek of some content you'll be able to look forward to here in the upcoming months once I get this thing finished. It's a project me and my old man have been working on for quite some time, but it's time to really just buckle down and get it done, and I'm sure you guys will love to see some video on this thing. So that's all I'm going to be talking for this video. I know it was a lot of talking, and I'm sorry for that. I just wanted to give you guys some updates. So I'm just going to walk around and show you this thing a little bit, not give you guys any details, and give you something to look forward to.